guys, so I wanted to do this project guide for you. This is the first time you're seeing a project in this course. And so I wanted to just give you a few tips before you start the project so that you will do better on the project. So first of all, I'm doing this video, which means you can pause at any time and take notes. You need to write some things down so that you have them handy when you are doing the project. This will help you so much if you take the time to write these things down. So the first two things is I want to make sure you understand these two vocabulary words. So if you need to right now, pause the video and write down increment and the definition I have right here, the size of increase between each mark. And then uncertainty, which is 50% of the smallest increment on the measuring tool. You will need to know these two words for sure while you're doing the project. So take a minute, pause the video, and write those definitions down. The next thing that would be handy to remember how to do is to switch back and forth between fractions and decimals. So I just wrote down a few examples here. So 1/2. Most of us probably know that 1/2 as a decimal is 0.5. But if you can remember that quickly, that's great. And if I was you, I again would write these down right now. You're going to want to know these fractions when you're doing your project. 1/4 is 0.25. And 1/8, this one's the one that a lot of people don't know off the top of their head, is 0.125. So take a minute, pause the video, write down these fractions and decimals. It will help you when you get to your project. And the last thing I wanted to make sure you knew is how to take half of something. So specifically a decimal. If you wanted to take half of 0.3, that means you're going to take 0.3 and divide it by 2. So if you take 0.3 and divide it by 2, you get 0.15. So you can do that on a calculator, but again, they're going to ask you to do things like this. Take half of a decimal. Taking half of 0.8. Again, I'm going to be dividing it by 2. So half of 0.8 is 0.4. This one's a little tricky, 0.1. So if I want to take half of it, I'm going to divide it by 2. And when you do that, you get 0.05. This is one that people miss all the time. They want to put 0.5, but 0.5 is not half of 0.1. So make sure you realize it's 0.05. And if I was you, I would just write these down right now because they might come in handy on your project. So take a minute, review all of that, and good luck on the project.